Are people hesitant to talk to a chaplain? Because like, oh, someone might talk to me about that.
I think I haven't had that experience as much. But being in the public school space, you're not really the one to initiate conversations about religion.
Right. And you're not really meant to.
No.
Well, okay, yeah.
No. So I'm not initiating them. If someone wants to chat, I'm there to chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's much less of, like, if you're in a Christian school, I assume it would be more, you might get more of that.
Is there more like a focus on like just being in a pastoral role and taking care of people that need it?
Yeah. Like that's sort of why student wellbeing officer gets used, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were chatting before cameras are rolling about a loathing for public speaking.
Yes.
Which I think like there's lots of different roles in ministry, and what I really appreciate is like going through chaplaincy and finding more of the kind of one-on-one kind of ministry. Like what is it that you really love about and I'm making assumptions, but what is it you really love about that kind of being in those spaces where you can minister to someone one-on-one rather than maybe getting up and speaking in front of a large group of people all at once? And what are kind of the differences of doing that?
Yeah. I definitely love being able to have those one-on-one relationships rather than like big group.
Yeah.
I think you can be really intentional in what you're doing and like get to know the person in front of you.
Yeah.
And figure out how you can care for them best. And that looks different, like whether I'm in church or in chaplaincy or wherever it may be. But just to be able to, sort of meet them where they're at.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you, like, and this will play into kind of talking about social work too and chaplaincy. And it's more just a selfish question from my end. I feel like if I was in those roles, I would take on a lot of the emotional weight of those issues. Do you have difficulty doing that, or are you able to separate that? Because I've talked to some of my other friends that work in social work, and some of them are able to do that a lot better than probably I can. Is that something that you're able to do, or you get training in it too? I'm assuming, but what?
Yeah.
How does that play out for you? And I reckon the other question I suppose, how does God help you to do that as well?
Yeah. I think I can separate, but it's still something I'm working on.
Yeah.
Like I definitely come home at the end of some days and I'm sad or pretty like wiped from just what's been in front of me that day.
Sharing burdens kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I think being a Christian means I can pray for those people though.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which is, I think that can do a lot more than sometimes what even I can offer, like in the moment, because sometimes there's not much you can actually do, but just being able to go and pray for them is really wonderful.
Like a way of alleviating the burden.
Well, being able to hand it to God as well.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, that is not something I'd thought about before, which is probably a blind spot on my end. But how does, if you're in these moments when someone is sharing something really quite tough and the things that can really drain you, how's God kind of helped you sustain, like how's he sustained you through those times that it can be a bit tough? Is it more just knowing that you can give it all to him, or is there more that he helps you in the moment as well?
I think knowing that I can give it to him, I think, I've seen, like, I think God cares for us a lot in the way of what he puts around us. So having wonderful support and like people around me that are caring for me and pointing me back to Jesus, and just constant reminders of, when it is getting a lot, that I can always go back to him.
It's a real privilege we have that, like, you don't have to step in and be someone's savior, but you can instead introduce them to someone who actually can be that person
and
for them.
In a way, like possibly help them more than if you didn't have that. Is what I mean.
Like, that as much as like you care for that person, God cares for them more, which is crazy thought.
Yeah, I think just in terms of just my life, but also, and it's like, what do people do that aren't Christians? Sometimes I'm like, I feel like I want you to have this as well, like that privilege that you're talking about of being able to share something with, knowing that the God of the universe can take all of that weight.
Yeah, and even like when you're in a public school and you obviously can't. Is it proselytize?
Proselytize.
Yeah, whatever.
Proselytize.
You can't directly share in that way. You can still introduce them to Christ just by the way you're acting and listening and being a great witness. I find that very encouraging.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at times I would love to have like more direct chats with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of like we can show Jesus in the way that we're loving people and caring for them.
Absolutely.
And yeah, like some of them might not even know that like with student wellbeing officer, it's hard to make that connection sometimes to church. But yeah, I think just being there and showing like love and support gives a space where they can sort of see Jesus.
Yeah, and no matter how indirect or direct you're being in that way, it's still up to God to put things on their heart, and so you can really hand that over to Him.
Yeah, there's comfort in that, isn't there? Yeah. We talked about it can be draining. Is it also like really invigorating as well?
I think like some of the stuff I get to do is really cool, and I like love doing, like I organize hampers, like food and toy hampers at the end of year for some of my schools.
I love the word hamper, by the way, but sorry.
Yeah. And I like that's such a joy to be able to like just like really I'm the middle person, but be able to connect families that are doing it a bit tough at like Christmas time and know that like those kids are getting a bunch of toys for Christmas, or they'll have food that will help them sort of get through the holidays.
It also fits with something you've talked about before, of like just like making stuff. I feel like you enjoy making stuff. Is that true or not? Yeah. It's just like we said, like with the book that you did, and even the visual arts stuff that you did, is you enjoy using those skills and gifts to make something for someone else. They can be blessed by it, but also just enjoy like the toys and stuff like that. So
yeah, for sure.
I admire people like that. I'm probably not like that.
Do you mind if we go off on a tangent for a second?
Ooh.
You are quite an avid climber / boulderer.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you get into that?
I fell down a cliff.
Yeah, just had to get back up. I had a wonderful high school friend invite me. She wanted like someone to come belay her and like climb with, because she was going with 2 other people. So you sort of need pairs, ideally.
Yeah.
And climbing ended up not being for her, but I'm still there 4 years later.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So she introduced you and then you took over, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where did you go to begin with?
Climb Fit in Kirrawee.
It's just the whole time you've been going there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The whole time. There's like one gym in the Shire. Yeah. So
didn't there used to be
not
that
many choices.
Rocknasium place in Tarrant Point?
There was one in Tarrant Point, I remember that.
I think it was called Rocknasium.
That sounds crazy.
I have vague memories of it.
How do you transition? Like, I feel like there's a big shift from doing that to doing it outside. And like doing, what is there a better word for it than?
Outdoors.
Yeah, outdoors, I guess. Like, was that a big shift or something different? Or
yeah, like I had some people that taught me to like lead climb.
Yeah.
So you're like tying your own knots and like clipping in as you go, rather than top rope, which is you sort of just sit there if you fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, you sort of like having people that know what they're doing.
That is
very helpful.
Very helpful. But then you have to like, there's someone taught them, didn't they? So you have to learn from them. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and 2 friends went to the Blue Mountains and did some, like we did a learn to lead course as well. Outdoors, which sort of gave us the basics, and then we had a break and got back into it.
So what's your regular kind of like balance between outdoor and indoor climbing?
It's a lot of indoor at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
'cause
depends on the
cold?
weather
Okay. Yep.
and depends on if any of my friends who climb outdoors are around. But the main one I climb with is working full time at the moment and has a bit less time than we used to.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So not afraid of heights?
No,
I am.
they don't really faze
very
me.
much, yeah. I forget how afraid of heights I am
Me
until
too.
I'm in that situation.
Yeah.
I remember, I remember being, when I went to the Colosseum in Rome,
Oh yeah.
there's like, you can go right up the top, and I completely forgot. Like, I forget how much I hate it in that situation. And I was up there just like, oh yeah, this sucks. And then there was this little kid who was putting their head, they were kind of like slipping in between the fence and out of the fence, and it was just giving me an absolute panic attack.
Yeah.
It was just freaking me out so much.
It's the
It
same.
wasn't even me, it was them doing it.
My kids are near the edge of a balcony. I start getting worried for them.
Yeah.
They're not going to fall off.
Yeah.
But
I find the climbing thing very impressive.
I visited one of my dad's friends in Chicago once, and it was like, it had to be like 50 floors.
Yeah.
And it was just like a massive building with a giant balcony and just like a normal railing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going anywhere near the edge of that.
We did it. We did an Airbnb last year in Melbourne, and we stayed in like an apartment in the middle of Melbourne, and like we walked in, and I hadn't even put it together. We were on like, I don't know, like the 34th floor or something. And I couldn't even walk over to open the window. So it was just freaking me out so much. It was just this complete glass.
Yeah, and it's like as soon as you just
oh.
like your vision tips over that point, this is something that Megan has to struggle with.
I'd be the kid.
Yeah. Like there's this point where you just, your vision just goes whoop, and you see how far, like how much it'll go whoop over. Like there's no way you're coming back from that.
Yeah.
If you fall, like that's why you're like, I can't go near the edge.
I can't do it. I'm very impressed by the climbing.
Is it the climbing seem for you, Megan, seems a little bit at odds with the rest of your life? And that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, is it kind of like an escape for you from the rest of life?
Yeah, I think so. Like for me, like mental health is a big thing that I've like struggled with for a bit.
Okay.
So it's very much like a way that I can move my body and help my brain.
It's always helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there something like to do with, because it's so, like it is very taxing and you're concentrating on what you're doing, you're not thinking about other things while you're doing it?
Yeah, I think so. Like I don't have the space, like brain space, to think about other things when I'm climbing.
Yeah.
Which is really nice sometimes.
Because you could just kind of...
If my mind's just racing and anxious.
Yeah.
Climbing sort of switches that off.
And you get achieving like little goals while you're doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're
It's like a little puzzle.
Yeah, you're getting things done, but at the same time you're like, you don't have the time to think about whatever else is going on that day.
Yeah.
Do you feel... You mentioned mental health. Do you feel comfortable sharing about that a little bit and kind of how God's helped you work through it?
Yeah.
Please tell us. Or you mentioned anxiety just then, but is that the main?
Yeah, anxiety is the big one. Pretty significant anxiety for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think God has like put a lot of things and people and stuff in my life that have, I still have really hard seasons with it, but I have had a lot of support and I'm able to turn back to God and be reminded by the people in my life of his goodness and his control over everything. When I'm, I think, stressed about things that are very much out of my control.
Because I've experienced anxiety before too, and it's like you're just trying to control things in the future almost.
Yeah, that you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Like you mentioned, climbing helps you. What else? What else helps for you?
Like climbing, sort of seeing friends and being social.
Is it like exposure kind of stuff?
Not really. Like that's probably more distraction. Of just being out of my own head.
Yeah.
like music, just like listen to lots of music.
Oh, let's delve into this though. What if you're like not feeling great? What's your go-to music choice?
I don't know. At the moment, it's Noah Khan. Just got one of his albums.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's funny.
On repeat.
Braden goes, I don't know who that is.
He has one song that I think you would know.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Is he a Christian artist or not?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We allow non-Christian artists on this podcast.
Yeah. Christian artist King's K is my favorite.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So you just listen to music a lot?
Yeah.
Do you go to like
Yes.
live music and stuff as well?
Yeah, a fair bit.
Yeah.
Like I like going to concerts and stuff. Yeah, I've sort of gone with friends. Brad's like I've gone a bunch with Brad as well to some weirder stuff.
Is that because he's weird or because
jazz is weird.
I didn't realize Brad loved jazz that much.
What was the last song you listened to, and what was the last concert you went to?
Good question.
I don't know. I was listening to some King's K in the car before I came. I think it was like their live archive album. So it might have been Defender, something like that.
Sounds awesome.
Trying to think what concert I went to last. The one that's coming to mind was Clown Core, which I went to with Lewis and Brad, and that was really weird.
It just sounds weird.
They are weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Braden, what's your answer to that question?
I was listening to Mastodon in the car. RIP. One of my favorite guitar players passed away last week, and so I was listening to them in the car. Concert I think was the Hives. I'm going to see Paul Kelly on Saturday. With my brother. Yeah.
For your birthday?
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, the Hives is the same answer because we went to it together for the live show, and I think it was Oasis. My Big Mouth was the last song I was listening to. I'm crediting my listening to Oasis to Braden because he's like, "Oh, they're so good, and now I'm going to see them live." And then they for the reunion, and I'm like, actually, Braden is correct.
That was the first CD I ever bought. Was What's the Story, Morning Glory?
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think my first CD I bought was like 100 Greatest Hits.
I thought it would have been like Limp Bizkit or something, knowing you.
No,
or like
so
Rage Against the Machine.
No. Well, that was more high school because I was buying CDs in primary school, which it was like 100% Hits, Volume 14 or something. It was something like that. But it had a song, on it called "Who Farted." You have to listen to that. It's I won't repeat the lyrics here, but. It's just this whole thing about this guy's like sitting in a car and his girlfriend farts or something. He's like, "Who farted?" Anyway, Megan's not enjoying
Sounds like good music.
Hey, you went to something called Clown Core before.
Yeah, it's comparable, I'm sure.
Because you were mentioning, we were talking about anxiety and mental health stuff.
Yeah.
And you were feeling, I think you shared you were feeling a bit anxious about doing this as a podcast. I'm interested in the distraction thing because it feels like anxiety for you and other people might be like, oh no, if I just stay on my own, I'll be okay because I'm anxious. But then you've also talked about this thing of like, I want to be around community. You mentioned that, and people, and like even going to concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there something you can help me understand that why are you forcing yourself to be in those spaces, or those spaces help you with your anxiety?
I think those spaces help me. Yeah.
So you recognize that, I suppose.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I think unfamiliar spaces I struggle with, but like when
like a podcast studio.
Yeah. But like places that I have people that I'm close to and I'm friends with, and are like safe people for me, and places that I can sort of just relax and feel comfortable,
Mm.
yeah, they for sure help.
Mm.
And I'm guessing they help you bridge the gap into going to places that you haven't not used to going to as
Mm.
well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like when I came to Soli's, it was like Josh that brought me along,
Okay.
and just having a person was like the best thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like one of my best friends just being like, come to this
Mhm.
church.
Because even Josh has said on this podcast, he struggles with certain aspects of that too, in terms of social anxiety
Yeah.
and things like that. So it's cool that you as friends are helping each other with that.
Yeah, for sure. We've had
Yeah.
lots of chats about that.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell that he thinks about it a lot. And he's like, even if I don't feel like going, I have to make myself go because I know actually it will be more beneficial to be in community. In your like social work and stuff, this is a more broader question now, is like I think sometimes not just church but other things that it's kind of easier for us to hide and isolate ourselves now. And I think that's at a detriment, kind of what you're talking about. It's a detriment to anyone if they're not spending time with other people, because I think God has made us to be in relationship with other people and in proximity to one another. So is that something that you observe even, I mean, you're younger than me. Is that something you observe in your generation and younger, is that there is a tendency perhaps to be more willing to isolate themselves and not force themselves not force themselves, but make sure you're doing that stuff like you and Josh have talked about?
Yeah, I think so. Like I see a really big difference between my Christian and non-Christian friends.
Okay.
And how they interact with like community. And I think church is a really big thing that pushes people to be in community. Like I think God has created us to do that. So just living that out, I think is different to what I see some of my friends who aren't in those like church spaces. They sort of have their people or have their one or two places that they're comfortable with. But I think church is such just like a melting pot of different people from different walks, that it's hard to get that anywhere else. There's not heaps of other spaces around that sort of does that. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Jesus is the great leveler.
Yeah.
Right, isn't he? Do you think that in you pursuing social work and the studies that you studied, is that something that you want to communicate or at least embody in those kind of spaces when you're trying to help other people as well? Because I can see that in so many things of your life. Is that where you've kind of decided that you want to do this master's in social work now?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Like just being able to meet people where they're at.
How was the shift, like stepping out of year 13 and stepping into study at Youthworks? Was there much of a shift in doing that kind of jump, or was it pretty smooth of where you wanted to go with that?
I think it was pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like Youthworks is set up quite with a lot of the same thoughts behind what they do in mind, no matter what section of Youthworks you're in.
Yeah.
So I found year 13 in college had a lot of similarities. Yeah, college just was a bit different. Like it was more different people from different stages of life. Yeah, and I was trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my life more so. And just seeing whether, any of the study, like what that would lead into, I guess.
If you had someone come up to you and say, like, oh, I'm thinking about going to Youthworks, Megan, what did you get out of it? Do you think you'd have an answer for that? Or
Yeah, I think it's a really like practical application of ministry. Like a lot of the stuff that I learned was I can like put this into play like right now in the kids ministry or the youth ministry that I'm doing. Which I think is really helpful. It's not just sort of academic theorizing, but it's like right in front of you.
Because I'm guessing, did you have Tim Bilhart's
Yes.
teach you then? Yep.
Yeah.
Tell us, what did you learn from the master of kids ministry?
I learned lots about kids ministry.
Yeah. How did it
Yeah.
like, what did he open your eyes to and at least start implementing in that ministry that you were doing at Sylvania?
I think like the importance of like working with the whole family.
Okay.
Not just the kids, but like you only get the kids for like an hour a week.
Yeah.
Whereas the other like parents in the house with the kids, they're spending the most time with them. So being able to support the family as a whole rather than just the kid.
What does that look like, supporting the family more?
Like I think for me it was a lot of like building relationships and sort of knowing where they're at. Like I guess you can help them if they're unsure with like resource stuff, or maybe they're fresher Christians or they haven't been at church ages. But yeah, just like knowing what's going on for the family.
Were you doing that study during COVID? Or was that
No.
just after?
That was just before,
Just before.
like 2018, 2019. It's college.
Because 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did year 13 and then 2 years of college. Came
Yeah.
out with a bachelor's.
Ah.
Somehow worked out. Yeah.
Excuse me. Coughing a lot.
How did you find that ministry period during COVID? I know lots of us had very different expectations. Were you doing like kids ministry and youth ministry
Yeah.
at that time? Like what did that look like online?
That would have been
That would have
hard.
been a big shift, especially at the start of when you're younger, trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
How did you find that?
I found it really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing kids and youth ministry. Kids, I was figuring out a lot of what we were doing, and I didn't have heaps of, like, I was also studying
Yeah.
not Youthworks. So
Yeah.
I wasn't studying ministry stuff. So I was doing my own stuff alongside
Yeah.
sorting out all the kids' ministry.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to do when
Yeah,
like you
absolutely.
haven't been in that situation before.
No, yeah.
Like youth group, we were like kids and youth, we were recording stuff, and
Yeah.
it's not my favorite thing to do. So
Yeah.
I remember being very stressed in front of like cameras and
Yeah.
being on Zoom calls that I didn't really want to be on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was worth doing it to keep the connection with the kids and
Yeah,
families.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think in doing that stuff online? What do you think? And you said it was really hard, which I can understand from other things you shared. What do you think it brought out in you though, even though because you had to do it?
Yeah. Just like perseverance, like knowing that I can do stuff even when it's hard. Like,
Yeah.
I think is helpful. Like there's a lot of stuff that might make me anxious, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think especially for the sake of the gospel. Like I think a lot of stuff is worth doing even when it's out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a very good point. Like the door knocking that you were talking about before.
Yeah.
You said you loathed it.
I think yeah, that, and I think youth group just puts you in situations that unexpected, and I'm sure chaplaincy is a bit like this too, where if maybe you woke up at the start of the day and someone said you had to do this, you would be like, no, or you'd be stressing about it all day. But sometimes you just get thrown into something, you just have to do it. And at the end of the day, you're just like, oh, well, God put me in that situation. And you just have to do with it. And you grow through that.
But there's also a safety in being thrown into it because of God.
Yeah.
You knowing
absolutely.
God's put you there.
Yeah, you're doing it for a purpose.
Yeah, the purpose really helps. I reckon I've only probably become comfortable in those kind of situations in church and stuff in the last 5 years or so. That coincides incidentally with when I started coming on stuff. When I came on stuff, which is interesting, right? But I think there's, because we like the tendency is just to like, I'll just avoid that
Yeah.
because I don't want to do it. But sometimes you get thrown into something you just have to do.
Yeah.
How did you feel like wrapping up college? You've kind of had that, not like a clearer path going through, okay, I'm doing year 13. Okay, I want to do this next. How was it finishing up college and kind of having the world is your oyster, you know what I mean? Like for the first time, it's like, okay, cool. There's no kind of clear next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like year
Yeah.
13, you knew what you're doing after school, right? As an
Yeah.
example. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
ambiguity is a bit difficult for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I started a childcare like apprenticeship at a kindy.
Mm.
I did
Okay.
it for like a week and a half, and
Yeah.
I have like ongoing like shoulder and back issues, and it like flared up massively. So I ended up, it wasn't sustainable.
Mm.
So I stopped doing that.
Mm.
And that was like the start of 2020.
Yeah.
So I stopped that. And then I think not long after
Yeah.
COVID
Yeah.
happened, I was sort of just left in the lurch a little bit
Mm.
in figuring out what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I knew sort of that I loved working with kids and families, and had like a vague path that I might like chaplaincy throughout college. Was sort of told that like one-on-one is a strength,
Yeah.
which I can also like, I know that
Yeah.
just in terms of like speaking in front of big groups is not my thing. So yeah, it just felt like it fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't do the childcare
No.
thing. What was the next step then in terms of what you were wanting to do or thinking about doing?
Yeah, I did a diploma of community services,
Okay.
which I figured would lead into something that I didn't know what.
Yeah.
It's more one-on-one stuff.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And like essentially that's helped me get into social work, like into my master's as well. So in hindsight, it's really cool to see how all of it linked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I keep seeing.
Yeah.
Because I kind of like talking to you again before recording, you were telling me you were doing a master's, but then hearing all these things that have linked up into like ramped up to that point.
Yeah.
So how did you end up? So diploma of community service, is that TAFE?
Yeah.
So then how do you end up finding a way to do a master's in social work?
I worked as a chaplain for a few years. So
Oh yes.
my first chaplaincy role was with Courtney
Okay.
at the school she was at.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember walking into the room and she was like, "Hi, I'm a Christian.
That's
like
the first thing
I'm
she
here
said.
for anything if you need anything."
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, sort of spent some time at that school. I think I've been at 4 different schools now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throughout that time, those 4 different schools have been like very varied in terms of like the roles and what I'm doing in them. And I think I just seen a lot of stuff that like I'm drawn to and really love doing is a lot of stuff that lines up with social work, and I think really practical ways to be helping and loving people.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And as we said, you are doing your master's, and you said you actually are enjoying doing it a lot, but not so much the academic pursuit, but more the practical work. Can you tell everyone how much, you were telling me, how many hours of practical work do you have to do? For that's next trimester, is that right? Okay.
In a couple of weeks.
Yep.
500 hours this year, and then another 500 hours next year of placement.
Where do you do that placement?
TBA.
Oh, okay. You're trying to find
different
it.
places.
Yeah, okay. You're obviously putting the feelers out.
Yeah.
I'm guessing to find a place.
Yeah. There's some things that are trying to be figured out at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. Are you trying to, are you looking forward to doing this practical work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it will be a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I much prefer doing things than like theorizing and talking about doing things.
Too much thinking.
It'll be nice to actually just get to be working in the field that I want to be in.
Yeah.
What's it? What like your ideal place to go do social work at? Where would you like to do that? You might not get it, but where would you ideally like to work?
I do love working with kids and families, and in the mental health space. Like those are the two that I've been drawn to throughout my life. So I think anything that involves that, I would love to do, but I'm also really open to whatever.
But I feel like you're excited to make an impact on people's lives in that, like that one-on-one scenario that you like doing, right?
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Talking about impacting people, you eventually, like, let's talk about coming to Soul Revival. You said you came originally in 2017.
Yeah.
But then made it your home. Actually, I'm going to try and guess at this, see if I get it right. Is it about a year and a half ago, or is that not
Longer
it's
than
longer
that.
than that? See,
Yeah.
sorry.
I think we just hit 2 years.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
Okay, just hit 2 years.
Yeah, it was August 2 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I'm guessing the community thing was something that you really liked, because we've talked about that before. But what else led you to kind of making Soul Revival your home?
Yeah, I think seeing, like, I'd already known a bit about Soulies, and just loved how it was set up, and yeah, especially community. Like, I could see that was a really big value, and put into practice. But yeah, I don't know, just getting to like meet people and have conversations and see that people were really trying to live for Jesus practically. And yeah, I remember like my first Bible study just being, it felt really refreshing to not only be having like theoretical conversations about like what the Bible is saying, but having people be really vulnerable about how they're actually living it out in their lives. Yeah, I found that really helpful. Yeah, just especially where I was at, just seeing people like figure out Jesus together and how to live for him together. Yeah.
And that was kind of the appeal of Year 13 for you too, right?
Yeah.
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 Has there been something that God has like revealed to you since you've come to Soul Revival, or something that's changed or again grown in your faith since you started coming to Soul Revival? It doesn't mean it wouldn't have happened anywhere else, but I'm just interested. That's really the last 2 years is the only time I've known you, so I'll be interested to see how you think you may have grown in those last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think a lot of the relationships I've made have like shaped me and yeah, pushed me to think about how I'm caring for other people and how I'm representing Jesus in my life. Yeah, just having like long-term low-key like sits really well with me. Yeah, being able to sort of just be consistently building relationships and yeah, pointing each other towards Jesus. Yeah, I think that's something that this church is like, yeah, let me like tend towards in terms of, yeah, just
like explore it more. You've just maybe it's. You tell me if I'm getting this right.
Sorry.
Oh no, you don't need to apologise. But I think I hear what you're saying is just to delve more deeper into that, which is what you've possibly been wanting to do, continue to do for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's something really cool about you're a late night leader, and I think there's like, and you mentioned long term, low key. I think there's something really lovely about the space that is created through that ministry that just gives opportunity to sit down and talk to someone without having the constraint of, oh, okay, there's another service happening, we need to all move out, or yeah, you just have the I've seen you a lot have the time to sit down with someone and really chat with them, which I think is really lovely that you can get to use those skills that God has blessed you with in that space, but also just in a more low-key environment that's not as formal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was something that drew me to late night so much and why I love leading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Because it was that space that's being created.
You're not bound by time so
No.
much, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the first few, like even to now, but there was a like good chunk of time where I was here like or at late night most nights till like 3.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, I
just like
remember
a
we
I feel like
did
Josh
group
was
of
involved
us.
in that.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
did the first summer of Soul Revival.
Yeah.
That like whatever it was 2 years ago in like January and stuff. And yeah, my memory is like yourself and like Bradley and Josh and Alana and a few other people just like
Yeah.
lying on the lounges.
Yeah.
It's like and like someone would fall asleep for a couple of hours
Yeah.
and
I
you wake them
definitely
up.
fell
But it was just like that like AM period of like
Yeah.
late
Yeah.
night is like we've done whatever we were doing, but now we're just hanging out on the lounges, just chatting absolute rubbish, or
Yeah.
someone's having a deep conversation over there or whatever. But we're just like chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those days for me are gone. I passed it, but did used
Bring
to
it
do
they
that.
might come back.
They may. I don't know. I don't know if they can anymore. I wish they could, but I'm sometimes like,
Shout out to the night owls out there. Not Joel anymore.
no. Yeah, I'm a bit night owl, a bit early morning, so it doesn't work.
Different
great
type
for
of
me.
AMs.
I can't sleep in much. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Not just because I have children. I just can't sleep in anymore.
But yeah, there's something lovely about that doing life together.
Yeah.
That's not constrained by
Getting kicked out.
not having a space to do it or
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really interesting as we have looked at a number of things in your life. It's how you've had certain struggles, but God has led you through them. But then, like, I feel like you have often responded to God. I think it's a sign of a really strong faith. And it seems like every time you've done it, you've grown as a result.
Yeah.
And I think that is that's something to be really commended, especially when you're sharing things like your anxiety and stuff that you could just stay at home and you haven't. Because even was this year's week away the first time you came a week away?
It's the second.
Second.
Yeah.
Because that's was going to be my last question before the final question, which was how have you gone with a week away? Because some of the things you said, you might find it a bit hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I love it. I love it, but it's like it has been a tricky week for me just in terms of getting quite exhausted and yeah, there's a lot of people and there's
There
not
is.
necessarily like I'm usually staying like a couple rooms down from the dining hall. So there's always people around,
Yeah.
which is a really beautiful thing. And like, I love being there, but it's just finding that balance between not burning myself out and just completely writing myself off, but still wanting to like spend time with community and really invest in the community, which I think is really worth doing.
I really appreciate the answer. It's very honest, very true as well. So I think that's really cool. Last question. We looked back on various areas of your life. What would, if you could go back in time, what do you wish you could tell your younger Christian self?
I think just the reminder that God's already done all the work, and that I don't have to be worried about getting everything right or picking the right things. But God's already done it all in Jesus. He has a plan set out for us, whatever that might be. And yeah, we can trust him in that.
And I see you doing that.
Trying.
Yeah, that's it. I think not just trying, I think you've done it. But we can always grow and get better at it. But it's funny when you like I ask a question like that, it's really nice to see people reflect on things, but it's also a way to say, well, I think you are doing things like that because you continue to grow, you continue to respond to where God's put you in your life and how you're trying to glorify him, I think. And I think that's again, a reason that we do this podcast is to hear how God is working in people's lives. And you were a bit hesitant to do this, but you made yourself do it because you thought this might be helpful for yourself, but also I think for others that may have some resonance with some of the things that you've talked about today.
Yeah.
So I think that's, again, why we do the podcast. Is we're actually, people that listen to this are building a relationship with you, even if they're not in the same, they're sitting across the same lounges or anything, that they'll meet you now at a different gathering or something, and they'll go, oh, I've heard your chip lunch, Megan, and I loved it when you talked about this and how you still make sure that you're going to church because you know that's more beneficial for yourself and for others. Yeah. And I think that's a great encouragement we can take from hearing your story today, because I have. So you too, you should too if you're listening or watching. Braden, you got anything to share as we wrap up the chips?
I think it's just been a really cool highlight of, like, we talked on like one-on-one ministry and chaplaincy and like, I think some people can boil ministry down to like the person who gives the youth talk or the sermon or the person who's like really outgoing, doing welcoming or something. I think it's a really cool kind of spotlight to chat. Also chat in a low-key way, but also like just put a spotlight on how God's really used you powerfully in that space and how you found him use your personality and your skills to glorify him in that particular way, which I think is really encouraging.
Yeah.
I think that's, and it's also you talk about Paul, like being we're all parts of the body.
Absolutely.
Too. And it can be easily missed that there are so many people that aren't perhaps preaching, for example, like you're saying, but there's so many people that are doing something, and I feel like you're trying to do that, Megan. Yeah.
Trying.
Yeah. But also doing. I'm not just saying, you have done it many, many times. To finish, as we wrap up the chips, this is a tradition that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I keep forgetting to do it since week away on the podcast, is we now have Chip Lunch badges for everyone that has been on the podcast. So what we'd like to do is to give you a badge on the podcast, but that you have to make a choice in between yellow or black. So you can have a look at them.
I have seen some of them from.
Yes, because I was handing them around at week away. But if you have been on and you don't have a Chip Lunch badge, please come and do, because we're handing out post recording as well. But
posthumously.
I was going to say that. I'm like, no, everyone's dead. But yes, here we are. Have a choice. Have a look there, Megan. I can narrate what you're doing. But the Godfrey last week chose a yellow one. But you may choose a black or a yellow one. It's up to you, Megan.
I might choose a black one.
Oh, very nice.
They're both cool though.
No, thank you very much. But yeah, just one if that's okay, because it's a limited number. We can always get more made, but she's gone with the Chip Lunch badge to show that she's been on Chip Lunch podcast.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Megan.
It's
been lovely to have you on. And thank you very much, Braden.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to everyone who's been listening or watching. You've been listening to Megan's Chip Lunch, episode 183, I think it'll be. So we're getting closer to 200, and we do have 200 recorded already.
Yeah.
But people don't know who the guest is. Shh. Thanks heaps, Megan.
Thank you.
And we always finish with a one way. One way.